Hey, what's up, masters? My name is Prince, and today in this video we shall be talking about a great topic about the plants. Well, plants are of different types, as we all know. Plants are something like which do have chlorophyll, some don't have chlorophyll, and wait one second. Don't have chlorophyll and have chlorophyll. That means plants also require chlorophyll. Some plants require chlorophyll and some do not. Well, that means is chlorophyll necessary for all the plants in the world? There is surely some mystery hidden behind this. So we should be discussing about that in our today's video to be thorough about this great mystery. So without wasting much more time, let's start our today's video. If we talk about plants are of two types. First is autotrophic plant and heterotrophic plant. Now, you would be saying that plants are known as autotrophs. So why then we have again segregated the plants into autotrophic plants and heterotrophic plants. This is so because some plants do not photosynthesize. What does this mean? That they do not perform the process of photosynthesis. Well, one of the most greatest example of this thing we can say is Rafflesia annulli. Well, you must have heard the name of this flower, or else you must have just saw this flower in any kind of web or in real life, maybe. So what is special about this flower? This flower is basically lacking a stem. Do flowers have stem basically? Well, before I tell you about that, this is not especially a flower. This is a plant. This is a complete plant. So this is a complete plant, then it lacks stem, it lacks leaves, it lacks chlorophyll. Then if it lacks roots or stems, then it lacks nutrients. So how on the earth did this flower grow? I mean this plant grow. First of all, to make you understand about this, let me make you understand about the autotrophic plants. The plants which use carbon dioxide from the air and sunlight from the sun along with the nutrients and water from the soil, put it together in presence of chlorophyll and make it their food, which is the glucose, are known as the autotrophic plants. Well, instead of just saying the whole process, let me just tell you its short name, which is known as photosynthesis. Photo is derived from the word photon, and photon means light. So photosynthesis means light, to synthesize the light to make something useful, just like the plant's food, which is glucose. Now, another thing I just wanted to tell you, that plants like Rafflesia annulli don't have chlorophyll in them. Chlorophyll is a vital substance or pigment that is there in the plant's body or the plant's stem or leaves, which is very much necessary for the photosynthesis. So if this type of plants lack them, then they are known as the heterotrophic plants. Not only the lack or the scarcity of chlorophyll is there, otherwise we can also say the lack of proper soil or the lack of fertile soil in which the nutrients and water are there. Okay. Next, if we talk about, we have learned lack of chlorophyll and lack of nutrients and water in the soil. Now another thing can also happen, that the plant might lack sunlight. Yes, it's an obvious. If the plant has been just grown inside a cave, then what would be the thing? There would be no sunlight. Yeah, and there might be another situation that the plant, is basically grown on somewhere where it can't find a proper food. So in that case, something has to be done, right? So That is why these heterotrophic plants are also segregated to four main parts. Let me explain you all the four main parts in detail. First of all, let's start from the lack of chlorophyll. Lack of chlorophyll, these plants are known as. What does that mean? That means that they have to find some place from which they can derive the food. So that type of plants, they depend on other substances or other materials that are there beside them. So just like other dead substances from which they can derive their food. One of the most common example I can give you about this is the Indian pipes. Indian pipes are this type of plants which do not have chlorophyll and totally white in color. Now, let me move on to the next type. The next type is known as the plants which lack one of the most vital thing, that is the proper nutrients and water from the soil. So now this thing, this scarcity, to fulfill that, they derive their food from like other plants or other animals. Not means perfectly animals, but if you talk technically other plants. How? Let me tell you. So these plants are famously known as the symbolic plants. Symbolic plants, as they don't have the proper amount of chlorophyll as well. They might have, but if they don't have properly as well, if their soil is not so good, then they depend on other plants to derive their food. How? Let us think for a while. If one plant is attached to another plant or another tree, we can say, then in that they share their food. How come they share? The plant which lacks proper soil get the food from the host plant, or you can say the helper plant, and then in return the plant which is attached to the main plant, it gives something to that. So like that the food chain happens. Next type of plant, if I talk about, these are known as insectivorous plants. Insectivorous plants are the type of plants in which you see they depend on insects to derive the food. How? If they even do have chlorophyll in them, but they lack certain substances like certain minerals in the soil, then they are known as insectivorous plants, and they depend on insects for their food. Now, if I talk about the next type of plant, they are known as the parasitic plant. Now, what is the parasitic plant? Parasitic plant are the plant which are very selfish plants. You can technically say about that one of the most greatest example that I can give is Rafflesia arnoldii. Rafflesia arnoldii depends on other plants. It sticks to other plants and just take their nutrition using their veins, but in return it's nothing. Unlike the symbolic plants, you see. So these, we can technically say that they are not thankful enough, and you see, they just take things and not give back. So this thing, should we do that? No, of course not. So that means we can say that all plants do not require chlorophyll. Of course, yes. Today in this video, you learned that all plants do not need chlorophyll to survive. They might do any other things, just like depending on other plants, like parasitic plants and symbolic plants, or derive their food from insects, just like insectivorous plants. So I hope you came to know something from this video, and I hope that this video was fruitful to you. For such more fun and amazing videos, be sure to subscribe my channel Prince Master Champ Education with Fun. I will be meeting you in my next video. Till then, bye bye.